on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We have some words from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. BRB.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, won't stop the way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
BBC.
I kick back,
Oh
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh yeah.
And I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try, even if I try.
Welcome to y'all boys talking, a podcast about nonsensical improvement, where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. It's like a Rubik's Cube of success. My name is Joshua Jean-Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And I'm Steve Della Valentina.
And the four of us have known each other for quite so many years and have developed this concept we call STTT, straight to the top. Now, if I crash landed on a planet and I found a new form of life, and that life was you, Max, and I said, hey, life, what is STTT? What would you tell me?
STTT is all about gripping the Rubik's Cube of life and twisting and turning and making sure all the faces look just the way you want them through your hard work and determination.
Oh.
So if I want all the faces to look like a mash pile of like non-solid colors, I can do that.
If that's what you want, it's all really up to you. So if that's what your top is, you go ahead and get it.
But can I take the colored stickers off the faces and then rearrange them to my liking so that it looks like success?
Yeah, everyone's path to the top is very different. So if you just want to take the stickers off, that's fine. If you want to actually learn the algorithms to twist and turn, that's fine too. So do it how you want to do it, That's what STTT is all about.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Guys, I'm tired.
From what, Josh?
What happened?
I did the damn thing yesterday, and I made a movie.
Ooh.
No.
Yes, I'm excited. It looks amazing. And I really learned to appreciate having great, talented people around me, just like you guys.
Aww.
That's my favorite quote from the Tina Fey book, Bossy Pants. The key to being a good boss is hiring talented people and getting the fuck out of their way.
Facts.
Like that.
All right. Well, I'm just going to let you guys run the rest of this podcast, so I'll be back.
All right, man. See you later.
Okay.
Peace.
I've been working on my Josh impersonation.
Can I hear it? Can I hear it, please?
On that note.
Got him.
Well, thanks, Steve. On that note, our first segment.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for roasting me, bro.
The sweet roast, bro.
Yeah. A1 roast.
Solid roast, Steve.
Solid roast.
Our first segment of this podcast is called STTT of the Week. QSET.
STTT of the week.
STTT of the Week is a person, place, or thing that has exemplified STTT-ness, and we like to take this moment to give flowers to them. And this week's STTT of the Week goes to Miss Taraji P. Henson. Hey, Frank, take it away.
Taraji P. Henson is the co-founder of the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, which was named after her late father who returned from the Vietnam War with mental health issues. The Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation is a nonprofit committed to changing the perception of mental illness in the African American community by encouraging those who suffer with this debilitating illness to get the help they need. In 2003, Henson's high school sweetheart and ex-boyfriend William Lamar Johnson, who was the father of her son, was brutally murdered. 2 years later, Henson's father died. After experiencing 2 major deaths in her family, she was determined to find a therapist for her son, but she found the task nearly impossible. She's quoted as saying, "When we started doing research, I started looking for a therapist that at least looked like them, so he could trust them. It was like looking for a unicorn," Henson says, explaining that there's only a small percentage of black therapists and psychiatrists in the workforce because the taboo in the African American community creates a lack of awareness regarding careers in the mental health space. Mm-hmm. If you don't have people that look like you, it's harder to be like, oh yeah, I can do it. She actually recently gave a talk at a mental health forum on Capitol Hill where she stated that the suicide rates have taken off. It amazes me that 5-year-olds are contemplating suicide. And that's a word you shouldn't even understand at 5 years old. So on this podcast, like, we've talked about mental health quite a bit, and it's people like Taraji P. Henson who's using her platform, who's using her star power, who's using everything that she's gained from Empire, from movie roles and anything like that, to bring light to something that's very personal to her and very personal to many people who are afraid to speak about it, because there truly is a stigma, especially like for first generation kids, not even just specifically the Black community, but first generation kids whose parents had really difficult times trying to bring us to America in the first place to give us a better life. So thinking about mental health or worrying about why they're sad or things like that was just not something that
Did not have the bandwidth for that at all times.
They're just trying to get shelter and food.
Yeah, for basic essential things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taraji P. Henson. I mean, like, when you was growing up, it's just like, boy, figure it out. Like, even as men, it's just like,
right. And even my recent times looking for a therapist has definitely shown me how few kind of like meet my criteria, right? Which a lot of that was based off someone having a similar experience as I have had, right? So when you take, again, being a minority means that most people haven't been through what we've been through. So then when you take that and then say like, oh, I need to find this minority that has also decided to become a therapist, like dramatically shifts like that, pool even smaller. So it's tough, but yeah, I'm glad there's people out there that are trying to raise awareness in these communities so that more people decide to become therapists in those communities so they can help them out like from the inside, essentially.
Big facts. Shout out to you, Taraji. We give you our flowers this week. Thank you for pushing the envelope and bringing light to something that Black people need, honestly. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We have some words from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. BRB.
My skincare routine is locked tight. Aloe in the morning, cucumbers before bed, warm water to open the pores, and cold water to close them. It's a lot to keep up. What you don't see is how much water I drink throughout the day. I have a glass of water right before each meal and right when I'm eating. If I don't, all the aloe, cucumbers, and facial cleanses don't really do much. Drinking water gives your skin an even tone, diminishes dark spots, and just makes me glow. If you care about your skin, you care about drinking water. Time to open up those pores.
And we are back, and some of us are Black. Now's the time for the main events, the championship events, the pay-per-view. I'm streaming this on a crappy platform event.
The Zone? Are we on the on the Zone?
Yeah. Do we hate pay-per-view?
No, but all right, you get it. The main event of our podcast, our challenge checkup. Cue the motherfucking sound. Challenge checkup! Oh, so long ago, Max came up with this crazy idea and was like, yo, we should give each other New Year's resolutions, which we like to call challenges. And over the course of this podcast, you will witness us succeeding, failing, crying, laughing, and having an awesome post-credit scene on all of our challenges. But there's a catch. Frank, tell them.
Our 10-year high school reunion is coming up this Friday, and for y'all listening, next week. And we must complete all 12 challenges, 3 each by that time. If not, we must create a dissertation to tell our fellow alumni how we failed ourselves and each other. But if we succeed in all of our challenges, we will be showing up to this reunion in a Tesla, blasting songs from YBT Presents Songs to Flex To, which is available in the description, with songs from Beastie Boys, Big Facts by Anik Khan, A Tribe Called Quest, 80 and Lewis, Geno Music, just everything that we love, that we'd like to flex to, that we're going to be, super hype about this coming Friday. But of course, we have to complete these challenges, so
of course,
let's get into it.
So let's get into it.
Step 1.
And for the first challenge, let's just get this out the way. Frank, how was your week?
My first challenge is from Josh to maintain a consistent meditation regimen. My second challenge is from Steve to try the no S diet, which is no snacks, no sweets, no seconds for 4 weeks. And my final challenge is from Max to speak up more at work concerning social issues. Now, if you haven't been listening or you didn't hear last week, I've actually completed all 3 of my challenges.
You did all those things.
Well, all right. Thanks, Frank. Moving on.
But it's still keeping. These are still good habits to have. So let me start off with speaking up more at work concerning social issues. Nothing happened, so I'm just kind of just be like, I did it, guys. Nothing happened. Nothing really of note really occurred. So things are solid on that end. Meditation, 7 out of 7. Just every day, still meditating. One of the biggest things I think I got from that is I used to follow this playlist on Spotify called the most relaxing playlist in the world, which features music scientifically proven to lower your stress levels. Like that's how in the shit I was. And there's this song called Weightless by Marconi Union, which is apparently the most relaxing song in the world. Like it's been shown in many studies that like anytime I was having like a panic attack or I was freaking out or I was just like really down or something, many weeks ago I talked about being in the car like yelling because I was just like so frustrated and so filled with like pent up like something. So I would just keep listening to that song on loop. This week I stopped following that playlist.
Wow. Yo,
Big
can we get a round of applause for Frank, please? Can we get some violins?
Just violence.
But happy violins.
Happy violence. But yeah, I would use that basically as a crutch, just like, all right, to calm down, whatever. But I haven't needed it in such a long time, so I'm just like, why am I still following this? So I don't anymore. So
It's a nice
I
step
feel
of
that's
progress.
That's what growth looks like.
God, hell yeah. And also what growth looks like is the no S diet, which I got 7 out of 7 again after my whole Pizza Hut fiasco.
Overkill.
Overkill last week. I don't think I want pizza anymore.
What?
Are you breaking up with pizza?
I think I'm breaking up
don't
with
say
pizza.
That, Frank. Come on.
Yo.
Don't say that.
Yeah. Come on, we were gonna get pizza at the reunion. That was
We
like
might
a
have
little-
pizza 3, but my incessant like, I need to get pizza, because initially I was getting this is a place called Marco's Pizza out here in LA. Best pizza spot out here. So if you're in LA, have Marco's Pizza. This is not, they're not paying me money, but I just really like their pizza. I would go there all the time, but I was just like, all right, it's a little expensive. I'm getting it through Uber Eats. What if I get a DiGiorno? So I got DiGiorno's for a while. So I would get the DiGiorno's, but then all the calories like started racking up, and it wasn't that good for me. So after I got rid of the DiGiorno's, I'm like, okay, let me do Pizza Hut. Then I got Pizza Hut, and I couldn't control myself to eat just one pizza, so I had 2 pizzas. And the thing is that I kept coming up, it's just like, oh, but you haven't had pizza in a while. My brain kept telling me, it's like, hey, you know what would be great right now? Some fucking pizza.
Motherfucking pizza.
Yo, man, but motherfucking pizza would be delicious right now. Look at that advertisement right there. But each time, I just kept getting screwed over, whether it be my caloric intake or whether it's my feelings or like all the sugar that comes from all the weed in there.
tummy aches.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much. It was too much, and that want has slowly dissipated. I've eaten so much better since the last podcast, and I feel a lot better because of it. So
Wow, Frank, it sounds like you've somehow maintained a consistent change in your life. Would you say that's accurate?
hey, man, this I did 4 weeks, 5 weeks now. I did 5 weeks over 21 episodes. So
Wow.
it wasn't easy,
But you did it.
but I did it.
Would you
horse.
say the client Frank has had y'all boys talking as a influence on these said challenges?
100%. 100%.
Objection.
Oh, Phoenix, right? What are you doing here? But no, it's been good, and yeah, that's the end of my challenges, you guys.
Boring.
Deal, Frank.
Yeah.
Wow. Predictable as always.
Didn't see that one coming.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
thank you, Frank. We appreciate you being awesome. Let's get into some fucking sadness. Let's go, Steve. What you got?
What? I thought.
Yeah,
listen, when I'm hearing sadness, I thought we were gonna go into job.
Yeah. I'm glad this week I'm the harbinger of sadness.
I'm just kidding. What you got for us, Steve?
So I got 3 challenges this week. One was to journal every day. The other was to make music. And the third was to not wait. not waiting, could say has been completed. I can only wait so many times, and you know what? Time is a limited resources, and I'm sick of waiting. I don't go into lines. When a phone call, when they put me on hold, I just hang up. I don't wait anymore. I'm done.
Wow, Steve. Is your life made better by this? Just not going into lines and not going on hold? Is this an improvement?
You put a pizza in the oven, you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. Just pull that bad boy out.
I'm not down for this.
No, instant ramen. I just don't even boil it. I just eat
all of Steve's foods are either cold or like
instant,
uncooked.
Yeah,
just everything instant.
Wow.
That's
Waiting
the
in
new
traffic?
life.
Nope.
I just go
just plowing right through it.
Like a fucking canyonero.
Yeah, Canyonero.
I'd say it's that'd be a very dangerous life to live, which thankfully
Sounds like it.
I have the patience to do regular types of waiting, but for bigger decisions, I'm more proactive on now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds better. That sounds a lot better.
Yeah, much more balanced.
Yeah.
In terms of music, I still have an album to finish. I did some
And release publicly.
Yeah, and release publicly. I made some progress this week while I was flying to Utah. Just did a little beat-a-rooney on my work laptop Rooney. I need more prefix. What's the opposite of a prefix?
Suffix.
Suffix. Yeah.
Oh.
Postfix.
Postfix. Yeah, I need more silly suffixes.
Yeah.
And to go with my things, but yeah, I'm still working on the album, and I'm still thinking it's doable by this Friday.
How many songs do you have left?
This Friday, I have one completed, one that I just need to kind of wrap up. So that's like 2, then 3. I think I just need to make two songs from scratch, and then just have them put together.
Okay.
So it is
Friday.
It is go time.
Go
Yeah.
time.
This
Yeah.
is the championship.
I mean,
Yeah.
Finish line.
this is not even game 6. This is game 7.
Oh yeah.
Game 7.
No,
Yeah.
third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, halftime's over. No more waiting. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna be hitting the studio this week
Okay. Cool.
for sure. And last challenge was journaling, and I've still been at it on my side journal, just saying, hey, this is me checking in, checking out, just doing the little thing, doing a lot of the little small ones. Like I can't journal today, or I haven't journaled, but still just opening it up, writing, and closing it.
Sweet.
The end.
Sweet deal, Steve.
Yep.
So, like, do you have a strategic plan to accomplish all of the rest of your goals by next week?
I mean, it seems
By
like
Friday.
the only one I have to do is the album, and yeah, just hit the studio.
And Josh, you mentioned last week he's only complete with the journal if he continues all the way till Friday, right?
Yep.
I got
To
Yeah.
the last moment.
Yeah, still on it.
He's got to be writing in the journal as he's going through the line.
And
Yeah, and done.
If he goes until what if one goal like counteracts another, right? So if Steve doesn't wait in line anymore, but he has to wait to the last second, what is he going? Some moral gray area there, guys. What is he going to do?
yeah, I guess we'll
I
find
think
out.
that's called the YBT conundrum.
Yeah, we'll find out. We're gonna create a black hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how it goes. Maximo Santana.
Hey guys, I got 3 challenges. My first challenge was to go see a therapist, given to me by Josh. My second challenge was given to me by Frank, which was to write the first 60 pages of my great American novel. And the last one was given to me by Steve to get 3 people on to my nonprofit, the Best Lives Model, social media for everyone. So, how did I do this week? Let's talk about therapists. Josh gave me that challenge, and I knocked that one out the park in a short 13 weeks. So just taking a victory lap there, and didn't do a lot this week, but again, still, like Frank was saying earlier, still something I want to incorporate into my everyday life, but I didn't do anything to get that into my life this week in particular. But I'm really still hoping out for that first therapist I did see, who I did have a great session with, but I just didn't lock him down in time before someone else took that time slot.
Didn't put a ring on it.
Yeah, did not put a ring on it, but there will be a slot opening up in September at the latest. So like that's my contingency plan there. So I think it'll still be a long-lasting relationship. It just won't be able to start ASAP. The next challenge was to write the first 60 pages of my great American novel.
Okay, drum roll, please.
Last week, I got to page 40 out of 60, which felt really good. And this week, my goal was to get to page 50. So at the last week, I just had to write a meager 10 pages. And this week, I got to page 43.
Ah!
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Which means that by Friday, I have to write 17 pages in order to cross the finish line.
Oh, geez.
Yes. And
I believe you, though.
thank you. I've done way worse, I must say. Back in college, when Max was just regularly writing things left and right. I was an English ed major. I had to do a lot of writing. I had to take a lot of literature courses and a lot of 20, 30, 10, 5-page papers. I cranked these things out like nothing, guys. Number one, seasoned vet. All right. But at the same time, sometimes you'd be like, oh man, I could drink, this much. But then you'd be thinking about how you used to drink in college and you're like, my body doesn't do that no more.
Yeah, my body doesn't do that no more.
Yeah. So hopefully I still got the writing muscles. I know I don't have the liver of College Max.
Right.
I hope I have a better brain than College Max, though. I feel like my brain has only gotten better. So it can happen. I think it will happen. I'm expecting it to happen by Friday. Yeah. I have a long plane ride this week, and I think I'm going to crank out a lot there. I also wrote up to a point where there's a lot that's going to happen. I know in my mind what the plot is. I just have to stretch it all out on paper. So, again, I think it's possible.
Okay.
Very possible. Not just possible. It's extremely likely.
All the Team Max people are sitting on the benches, Dot.
Biting
With
the
Max
hold on.
painted across their
Edge of their
forehead.
seat. Yeah.
I want to have it on the record. Max, is this a Maximo Santana guarantee?
This is a Maximo Santana guarantee. Before we walk into that reunion,
Legally binding podcast.
I will have 60 pages on that Google Doc written.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
And for my last challenge, the Best Lives model. Did not do a ton with that either this week, guys.
Nigga.
Max, where you been?
That's a great question. I'm going to get into it in my Rosebud Thorn. What have I been? Yeah. But in terms of like what progress have I made, like literally in terms of Best Lives, people hit me up on Instagram this week about it, which is interesting. Just wondering like what it is and how they can use it. Actually had a really good conversation about a friend who's the director of an after school program in Marin out here, which is like just north of San Francisco. And I was telling him about Best Lives, and he was like, yo, like, what age groups are you thinking of using this with? And I was like, I think it could be useful for just about anybody that has social media accounts, right? So maybe like 8th graders, the youngest, but certainly useful for high schoolers, people in college, and anyone in their career as well. And he was like, yo, I would totally love to see more about this stuff. So that's much more of a future thing when it's ready for like kids to see it. Right now, it's definitely not at that stage, but knowing that people are interested in taking it to that level definitely caught my interest. So
Max, pick from the fruits that are in front of you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it sounds like you got a lot of interest, and you just like looking at it like, that's not my baby.
You can have 80 kids.
Yeah.
On
absolutely,
Best Lives.
You're right. So you know what?
Pick one of the people that are interested.
Got to get them started.
Yeah.
For 3 weeks, Max, you've been like, I just need one more person. Not good. I'm confident in my ability to get that one person. This is my Max impression right now. Hey, guys, I'm confident in my impression.
I'm gonna do it next week.
I got everything.
Next week.
I'm Max.
I see it happening. I know the person. I have a name in mind right now who I'm
for
gonna
these challenges.
That's you.
So it's gonna happen.
John, just pick a
Within the next
person,
5
dog.
days.
Definitely.
Pick a person, bro.
Pick a person.
Ha.
Pick a person. I'm gonna
Send him
pick
an
a
There's no
email.
more next
Send him
week.
a PDF, and then you
It's-
literally win the challenge. Literally.
It's just one.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you just to cross that finish line.
Mhm.
I'm glad you've been doing all this soul
I've
searching
been
and like
looking at
really
them in the
narrowing
eyes
it down and like
having
really talking to
conversations.
people about this, which is you've been saying this for a goddamn
You
need a
month at
master
this
ball,
point.
bro? I
I've been
got you.
I've been really talking to people about this, you know, and people have been
I
hitting
don't
me
think I
up
need a
for
master
this.
ball.
The fucking
Okay,
get
well,
them
just
on
need
there.
to.
Max, our frustration
Fuck.
is coming from love,
I
and
know.
we support you.
I see that.
Jesus.
We just want you to know, get your shit together,
Mm-hmm.
so
I will
other
get it
people
together.
have the opportunity to get their shit together. They're waiting
Absolutely.
for you, bro.
And it will be gotten together. I will have all my shit together.
What are you doing
All
next
my
week?
shit.
Do you need to
Okay.
be on the
Yeah.
Frank Hernandez Reminds You program?
Wow. It's a great program. I've heard a lot of great things.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. That's fine. I think I will be fine with or
Frank's
without
very
the
busy
Frank
this week,
Reminder
so
program.
I don't know how
I would appreciate reminders, of
the
course.
Frank Reminder
but
program is gonna
I
be
think I
working, but
will
I'm
get
pulling
there
for you, my
again.
nigga.
It's a Maximo Santana guarantee.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note. Oh.
Wow.
Just starting it there. Give him a shot.
Damn.
Give him a chance.
Speaking of disappointments, Josh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm starting it there. Let's go, Josh. Because you did not answer on the Frank Reminder system. Josh did not respond to me on the third
Are
day of
you
the
on 10
workout
yet?
this morning. Nigga,
All
talk
right,
to me right
so
now.
my
Let's
challenge
go.
is
I-
to keep a
the-
consistent
the-
schedule with
There's,
Frank
I'm starting at a 10. What's up,
To
Josh?
keep,
How you doing?
A tight budget given to me by Steve,
Mm-hmm.
and to make music by Maximo Santana. And yo, hey, I had a good week. All right.
Okay.
Let's-
Tell us
let's-
more.
Let's cool our jets. All right. All right.
All right. Well, all you got to do is tell us some very specific things, and our jets will be very cool. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. So for my first challenge,
Okay,
which is
all
to
right,
keep a consistent
all right,
workout
all right.
schedule,
Please tell us
I was
about your
successful this
Josh.
week, bitch. You're right. You're right.
Successful and petty.
You're right. Okay, but okay. All right. Here's the thing,
Okay,
though.
okay. You didn't respond to me on the last one.
Caveat.
Look.
All right. Okay.
You define working out as physical activity,
no.
right?
Let's not get into
Oh,
a semantic argument here about
What's
what
your
is
thing?
working
What's your
out.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
I'm just saying. You define working out as a physical activity,
Oh,
right?
No.
A physical activity.
Physical activity, yes. You're moving, you're shaking, you're sweating, a lot going on,
Frank,
right?
is working out a physical
Okay,
activity?
just say what
in
you're
general?
trying to sell.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why don't you
look,
tell us what you did and don't worry about
worked
Frank's
out-
definition?
I worked out twice this week, right?
By
Working out.
doing.
Or like I went out there, I did.
Just say what you did that wasn't the workout.
I was
Okay.
doing
Okay.
exercises.
Sounds like a
Mhm.
workout. Yeah.
The third thing is this. Look, all right. I had a film shoot yesterday. I was on my feet
What's the third thing that you're
directing
trying
for
to pass off
12
as a
hours.
workout?
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
though. Hear
Okay.
me out.
Okay. 12
It was
hours.
an action movie. And a lot of the things that I had to do were tell the actors what to do. So I literally had to choreograph and run around and like do all of these activities for 12 hours. So I'm just wondering whether or not that qualifies as a workout because this
Damn.
That was quick.
why not?
No, it doesn't. Kevin Smith was over 300 pounds, and he's been directing since fucking 1995, all right?
Yeah.
He lost weight recently by working out, but he's been directing for 20 plus years.
Yeah. And Frank,
All right.
you're no stranger to a film set yourself. You've
Yeah.
seen directors work. You've been a
100%.
director. You've been
Mhm.
multiple roles on a film set. You're
Yeah.
aware of what goes into directing. Is that
It's
clear to
it's
say?
definitely physically demanding. I will give you that. It's physically demanding. You're
Frank,
I
you've directed
was
martial.
running.
Frank, you've done martial arts films, correct?
hmm
As a director, is that a physically demanding activity to direct a martial arts film?
I'm just look. I'm not saying it's not physically demanding. I'm not saying it's not exhausting. But this challenge was to take time out of your regular life to care about the health of your body. You are focused on the film. You're worried about your actors. You're worried about your shots. You're worried about your crew.
True.
These are the focus on there. I want you to focus on you. I want you to focus on Josh.
Right. Josh was directing the movie.
Working on a film.
Oh wait,
Exactly.
Josh, did you spontaneously direct this film? Was this
a planned thing?
Yeah.
And did you not tell me last week that you were going to work out on Sunday? Which is why I had to remind you this morning.
I was exhausted this morning, man. I was exhausted. I woke up and we recorded this podcast. Like literally, I could not physically wake up. That's how exhausted I was.
But
so
we
I mean,
talked
there's no
about this-
excuse. You're right. But like, I literally could not get up. That's how tired I was, bro.
Cool, but you could have done it last Wednesday because you canceled on last Wednesday and you hadn't shot a film at that point.
You're right.
So Josh, I'm gonna tell you something right now because you failed this challenge. You failed the challenge. I will consider it I will rescind this failure if you work out tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You have to work out tonight.
For sure. Absolutely.
That's literally it. You give me a checkup tonight
of
your
you.
workout, you've completed the challenge.
Shit,
But
I'll
as of
do it right
now,
after we record this podcast.
But it's not done yet. So right now, as of this recording, Josh has failed this challenge. Buddy, you send me that thing. We can update you obviously next week and in our time this Friday about the challenge.
All right.
But
accept-
that's just I'm
I
just
accept-
straight up with you, nigga.
I accept your grace, Frank. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Josh. What about your next challenge?
that was just one challenge.
That was one challenge.
That was one challenge. Do you have more challenges? Throw those away. What happened?
All right. My next challenge. I'm gonna record my mixtape next week. This film has.
What do you
taken-
mean
Next week.
No,
Next week.
like this week. Like this. I'm gonna go to the studio. and
Oh,
record
next week, like this week. Okay.
I met a guy. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna once I'm done with this movie, then I'll go in. I already have everything laid out. I just need a good hour in the studio, and I'll be done." So, okay, so that's stay tuned for that.
So you're saying your mixtape is an hour in the studio away from completion.
Yes.
All right.
And lastly,
Okay.
whew, ooh, my budget. I did not do well this week.
What happened?
I mean, I was broke, so a lot of my expenses or spending came from my credit card. A lot of my spending came from this movie, which I'm gonna reimburse because I'm expecting a pretty nice check soon. So I spent a lot on my credit card yesterday for the movie. But actually no, I didn't do anything. I didn't spend anything because I didn't have any money.
But what
Yeah.
What about your credit card? Are you just saying all that was just for the shoot?
Pretty much, yeah. Because I made food this week. I cooked lentil
That's
soup.
good.
I made a big ass thing of lentil soup, and I didn't buy any Uber Eats. I mean, I used the credit card for gas, but then other than that, everything went to the movie.
You were given a makeup assignment to put together a budget for right now and how you would see yourself maybe like a year from now or whatever, given a bit more stability in your finances.
I didn't do it, dog. I didn't do it. I have no excuse. My head was not in that place this week.
Or for 21 weeks.
Yep.
So
So
looks like Steve. What if Josh had a double makeup assignment and he failed for now, like Frank's challenge to Josh? But if he did this
Tonight.
today, since it is Sunday morning right now.
So does this mean I have to have homework?
Yeah.
You've been had homework.
Yeah,
you
had
made it homework.
You just showed up to class and You have two very gracious instructors
Oh yeah.
who are showing more than just grace
Yeah.
at this point.
Leniency.
Which
Beauty,
I
elegance,
appreciate.
and grace.
And listeners that are Team Josh, I'm so sorry.
How many weeks in a row is this end up with a Josh apology? to Team
I
Josh?
know.
Josh.
Okay, you know what? I'm not
Who's
sorry.
left on Team Josh?
There's still people that believe in me.
No. Maddie told me yesterday she was Team Josh, too. So
Oh.
there's people there.
Okay. Well, look. All right. Okay. All right. Gentlemen, thank you for the realness. I appreciate it. That's what this is for. Frank,
Yeah.
I'm going to work out after this. Steve, I'm going to email you a budget for myself right after this. And I will post accountability posts on social media to make sure that this happened and we will move forward. Does that
Okay.
sound like a plan?
That does sound like a plan.
Yeah.
Are you confident in this plan, Josh? Are
I'm-
you gonna make this plan
I-
real life?
I, Joshua Jean Baptiste, am
Uh-huh.
confident in this plan.
Great. Is that a Maximal Santana guarantee?
That is a Maximo Joe Her Steve Della guarantee.
Okay. I hope that's a good one.
All right.
All right. Well, on that note, let's lift our spirits here, and we're gonna move forward to our commercial break. We'll be right back while I weep.
What? No. Shit. Not enough time to get your work done? Feeling too tired for your workout at the end of the day? Then try waking up earlier.
I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but when I started using waking up early, it was like adding hours to my day. Now I have time to make breakfast and get to work on time. I'm a whole new me. Thanks, waking up early.
Every morning used to be a struggle. It's still a struggle, but at least I get all my shit done. Thanks to waking up early, I can have a cigarette before I take the kids to school, and that really takes the edge off. Thanks, waking up early.
Waking up early is made possible in part by your alarm. Avoid annoying alarms that make waking up unpleasant. Snooze too much? Use apps like Alarmy that make you answer questions before you can turn it off. Waking up early is not recommended for everybody. Make sure you get your 6 to 8 hours.
And we're back for our final segment, a reprieve from the drama of the previous segment. Our rose, our bud, and our thorn. Cue sound.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Rosebud Thorn is an opportunity for us to give gratitude for a wonderful week. Your rose is something that happened this week that just made you feel so good inside, or that you're grateful for. Your thorn is something that was a bit of a in your side, something that was not as pleasant. And your bud is something that you're looking forward to next week, like the bud of a blossom. Hey, Frank, why don't you kick us off?
All right, I got a thorn, a rose, and a bud. Let me just start. So all of my things are podcast related, actually.
Okay.
So my thorn is I'm currently putting together the YouTube page for Y'all Boys. So I just felt it was a good time to put it on there, and we're gonna have a video series that's going to be premiering on YouTube and IG Live, well, IGTV soon. So just wanted to make sure it's there. But to go back and put the page together with 20 plus podcasts, all in the course of a couple days, I probably should have exercised foresight many weeks ago. All that. It's just a lot of render times, a lot of upload times, and a lot of just like small minutia that just got really annoying. And thankfully, once it's done, and then y'all will have it, and it'll be dope. My rose is that I'm actually editing a new series that will be coming to the Y'all Boys YouTube and again, IGTV. And when I was working on it, I kind of got into a flow state working on some of these pieces, and it felt as good as editing has felt in many. It's the best I've felt editing in many, many years. It's the reason why I started doing this in the first place, because I've been working in advertising for a while, and while some of it is good, there's a lot of it that's just work for the sake of work. But I got into this business because I love what I do, and every once in a while I get to work on a project that makes me feel exactly how I felt when I was 16 years old, working on a Wacky Wednesday, which was our old TV series in high school. And just like where it feels good, where it's fun. And it was really fun. I that's 100% my rose, like how much fun I had editing these new pieces, which at this point, you've already seen 2 of them, and there's 2 more coming and a lot more after that. So stay tuned. And finally, my bud is that this Friday is going to be our reunion, but it will also be the first live podcast from y'all boys. Not live as you'll be seeing it live, but live as it will all be in the same room at the same time. All y'all boys talking. So it's going to be a mess, but the best type of mess. And I'm super excited. One, because I get to see my boys. Like, we do this podcast every week from different parts of the country over the internet. So like just having that dynamic back there, I'm really excited for, and it's going to be super dope, and y'all will hear that next week.
All right. Well, great. All right. I'm excited. Ooh. So what you got, Steve?
So my thorn this week comes with the financial banking system of America. And man, did I underestimate or overestimate how convenient things can be. A few weeks ago, I discovered you could use your phone at an ATM to just do ATM with like transactions without a debit card, and I was blown away. Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of thing has been around for a few years now, but it's my first time really trying to make the use of NFC and all these like exciting technologies. So I was like, what?
Is this the Chase stuff? Is that what you have?
What's up?
With Chase?
Bank of America, but Chase has it too. I think a lot of major banks have it, and so I haven't been carrying my debit card for that reason. This weekend, I came to Utah with the intent to purchase a car with Celeste, and in my bank account, I had a nice chunk of change to make this transaction. I wasn't, I guess, ready to do this all with cash, and so I only brought my phone and a checkbook and a credit card, but not a debit card. And long story short, I was going up, down, left, to right to different banks. Oh, side note, and fun fact, there are no Banks of America in Utah.
That's not America?
Yeah, BOA is not here.
But Utah's in America.
Yeah, Utah's not America then. That's what that means.
But they do have Bank of American Fork, as Bank of American Fork is a city in Utah, but there's no BOA.
What the fuck?
So I was distraught and thought, geez, I thought Bank of America was like, that was it. That was like the Bank of America. Clearly not. And there's a lot of Chases here. So I was like, okay, maybe Chase is the bigger bank. I did a quick look, and Chase is like in 25 states, and Bank of America is like, I think in 37. So it just so happened to be I was not in one of those 37s. Suffice to say, I after some maneuvering, I think I went with like Check City. I wrote a check to myself, had to pay a little fee, but it was much, much better than having to take out a cash advance. Anyone listening to this, do not ever take a cash advance unless
take a cash advance.
Yeah, unless it's like a life or death situation. It is extremely expensive, as they typically charge you daily interest. The maximum amount, which is for my case, was like 27% or something daily.
Yeah, mine's like
interest.
26.
Yeah. Oh God,
5%.
that is good to know.
On top of a 5% just surcharge, just right there. So
just from having it.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a pro tip for that situation. If you don't have a checkbook, if you have a Cash App and someone you trust, send that money from your credit card, which will only charge you 3%, to that friend, and that friend will send it right back to you, and it'll end up in your debit.
Oh.
It'll end up in your checking account. So if you want to take stuff, because I actually needed to do this about a year ago. I needed like $500. So I used $500 from my credit, sent it to my friend. My friend sent me back the $500, and I had $500 there, and it only cost me about 3% of it, which is like $10, $15.
It's way cheaper than the cash advance. Yeah.
Way cheaper. Never take a fucking cash advance. If we learn one thing from this podcast, don't take a cash advance.
So that was a thorn. There was a bit of stress and just running around, but we got it together. And yeah, I also learned I should probably bring my debit card for other use cases. Yeah. So my rose was last night. Me and Celeste drove up to Salt Lake City. We kind of wanted to check out this little game store and just see what was going on. Apparently, it was an event, and we saw it. And then as we were looking for parking, there was this giant art festival that just seemed way more, I guess, eventful and just caught our attention. We spent the night there, and it was great. We actually bought a handful of little art pieces. She got me this little sculpture of a light bulb man sitting like on the toilet that's made of like a really big lock, and he's on his laptop, and he has like a little roll of toilet paper. It was really cute, and yeah, it was really nice. We walked around. We made these little brush bots, which is like a little like the head of a toothbrush with like a little tiny 5-volt scent, like those little nickel batteries, and it vibrates. And mine was a cow, and then she had a cat, and then they raced, and then mine went backwards. It was crazy. I took videos, and maybe I'll put it up somewhere, but it was a lot of fun. My bud is going to Miami, but also almost, because I think we're all going to be excited about seeing each other and recording the podcast live. But I'm also excited to see my little brother because his birthday was this month, and I have a lot of gifts for him. Celeste got him a lot of gifts, and I'm just excited to see him because he, I haven't seen him since I think Miami, last time I was there. So yeah.
It's a reunion vibe week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's your name again? Max?
Carlos. Oh, Max. Yes, that's me. I got a thorn, I got a rose, I got a bud. Start off with my thorn is Dead Cells, a indie game of the year for 2018, I believe. And if you want to know where a lot of my time has been going this week, maybe I clocked in like 7 or 8 hours.
Maybe this is a little connected with the not right.
Game. Yeah, and not the best thing to do, especially when you have pages of a book you need to write or people you need to reach out to for your nonprofit or, to find a therapist. But it's a pretty sweet game, just saying. Wish I liked it less. So, yeah, that was my thorn that I just probably spent way too many hours in that game this week. My rose is at work, part of a filmmakers group, and we edited a video that we got footage from Take Your Kid to Work Day, and it's just the cutest shots of these tiny little kids. And we edited a little montage of them answering the question, like, what does mommy or daddy do? And it's just, like, they have no idea, right? And at first we made this cut of that had like this wrong buzzer that would just be like a 2-year-old be like, daddy works with computers, and we're like, idiot, wrong. It was hilarious.
Moron.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just circulated it amongst the little group of filmmakers we had, but that's not the one we're gonna release. It's gonna be like a ding kind of thing, right? But it was really cute. My bud for this week is I went to a show last night. It was the SF Neo Futurists. They're a sketch comedy group that does 30 plays in 60 minutes. I was in a college group that had the same exact format, and I just saw this group in San Francisco and didn't know they had a group out here, but now I see that they do. So definitely I'm going to be going to a lot more of their shows because, I mean, the audience interaction is second to none. When you go to one of their shows, you can almost, there's going to be like a 1 in 5 chance that you're going to appear. Like someone's going to point at you and ask you a question, or you need to get up on stage, or something really embarrassing is going to happen to you. Like that kind of fear for going to a show is like, I live off of it. I love it. Right. So definitely excited to see more of their shows, and maybe I'll even audition for them one of these days. Who knows? It's just a really interesting group, so might give that a shot. It's definitely a bud for this week. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Awesome.
Josh.
So my rose, my thorn, my bud this week is my. I'll start with my thorn. I got another fucking parking ticket.
Yo, how many is this?
I got 2 parking tickets in the same week, and I was only over the time for like 5 minutes, bro. It was so ridiculous.
All it takes.
5 minutes. And I'm walking to my car, and I see him at another car, and I said, oh, no. And I got there, and I got a fucking ticket. Just annoying. Thankfully, Miami parking tickets are not as bad as LA parking tickets. Miami, it's only $18.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Yeah. So from what I've heard, it's really expensive in other places.
Yeah, they're not great in California.
My rose is that, as you might have expected or heard throughout here, is that I directed a short film, my first film. It was really awesome. I got some screen images, and it looks amazing, and I'm really excited just to put it together and just look at it. But I got through it. I was really, really nervous. I was really, really scared. I wanted to quit halfway through and cancel the shoot because I was just so overwhelmed by the amount of pressure that is on me. But thankfully, I have an amazing, amazing, amazing circle of friends and homies that are talented as hell, and they all offset my stresses. And I told myself I will not survive the day if my self-talk is not a positive one. And there was a lot of back and forth, but I got through it. So I'm really
and I think people are probably going to have a much better appreciation for your work on the podcast once they see the film you put out and be like, oh, that's what Josh was busy doing all that time. And once they see how wonderful and beautiful a finished product it is, they'll see, of course, how much time, effort, energy, and preparation needs to go into making such a product. I think it'll make a lot of sense. We're definitely hard on you on the podcast for what we need to do here, but Josh definitely gets his shit done in life.
Thanks, Doc. I needed to hear that, bro.
Yeah, Team Josh will grow tenfold.
Thank you. Because stern talkings from Frank make me doubt that.
Yeah, look, just because I give you a stern talking to doesn't mean I'm not part of Team Josh. Still,
absolutely.
No, Team Joshers give stern talkings. That's that's the culture of our organization. Anyway, and lastly, my bud is that I'm seeing my dogs next week, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all boys gonna be in full effect. You know, all right, it's a little cheesy and self-gratuitous. What is it? Gratuitous, whatever. But, you know, seeing my dogs.
Yeah, the power of 4.
The power of 4 forces will unite. Yeah. All infinity stones will be in the same glove.
We form to make Voltron.
Yep.
We create a Megazord.
Yeah, a Mega Bro.
It's going to be nice. And I'm mostly just excited for next week because this film is over. So, like, I can just do things. Like, complete my goals.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, we got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. Thanks for sticking with us. The clock is ticking. The podcast is almost over. And we are continually appreciative of your support.
Yes.
If you do sports too, we like that as well.
Sports. We like your sports too.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We hope you have an amazing and productive week. See you soon. Peace. We got a couple shout outs that we want to give. Shout out to Gino Music for making the theme song. The song is called Won't Stop. Eddie and Lewis for making the interstitial music and giving us the good vibes. Follow along with our challenges at y'allboystalkin.com. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Y'all Boys Talkin'. New episodes every week.